Welcome. You're listening to Candlelit Past Bedtime Stories. This channel is a place for calm, factual stories about real things that happened quietly. Nothing here is urgent. Nothing here is meant to surprise you or keep you alert. These stories are slow by design. They don't ask for your attention. They don't require you to remember anything. You can listen closely if you'd like, or you can let the words fade into the background as you rest. Either way is fine. If you fall asleep before the story ends, nothing will be missed. The story will continue calmly on its own. Europe's airspace is usually busy in ways most people never notice. At any given moment, thousands of aircraft are moving across the continent. They depart from small regional airports and major international hubs alike. Some climb quickly and turn north or south. Others level off and continue straight across multiple countries. Altitudes are assigned. Routes are adjusted. Spacing is maintained. To the people inside the aircraft, this movement feels individual. A flight number, a seat, a window view. The experience begins and ends locally. Above that experience, however, is a shared system. European airspace is one of the most complex managed spaces in the world. It spans dozens of countries, each with its own language, legal framework, and aviation authority. Yet aircraft cross these borders continuously, without stopping, without changing crews, and often without passengers realizing that anything has changed at all. Responsibility passes quietly from one control center to another. This handover is deliberate and rehearsed. Controllers agree on timing, altitude, and route before an aircraft ever reaches the edge of a sector. There is no improvisation at the boundary. The goal is continuity. The system is designed not around reacting to problems, but around preventing them from forming. Air traffic management in Europe relies heavily on anticipation. Controllers and planners look hours ahead, sometimes days. They monitor weather systems developing over the Atlantic or across mountain ranges. They track traffic patterns that repeat every morning and every evening. They account for seasonal variation, holidays, and known maintenance windows. Before congestion appears on a radar screen, it has already been predicted. When everything aligns normally, traffic flows at high density but remains orderly. Aircraft are separated vertically and horizontally by defined margins. These margins are not arbitrary. They are calculated to allow for uncertainty, small delays, human reaction time, unexpected wind changes. The system works best when those margins are respected. Occasionally, conditions arise that make margins thinner than desired. Weather may reduce available routes. Staffing levels may be lower than planned. Technical systems may require maintenance. Traffic demand may spike in ways that reduce flexibility. None of these conditions are emergencies on their own, but together they reduce tolerance. When tolerance narrows, the safest response is not always to push harder. In many cases, it is to slow the system down deliberately. This is where the sky becomes quieter on purpose. European air traffic authorities have the ability to regulate flow before aircraft take off. This is done through coordinated decisions that delay departures, space arrivals further apart, or reroute traffic to less congested corridors. From the outside, this looks like delay. From inside the system, it is spacing. Spacing creates room. Room absorbs uncertainty. Uncertainty is where risk grows. There have been nights when traffic across parts of Europe was deliberately reduced, not because something had gone wrong, but because planners saw that something could go wrong if density remained high. Fewer aircraft were allowed into certain sectors. Departure slots were adjusted. Some flights waited on the ground rather than joining an already crowded sky. The result was a noticeable stillness. Planes continued to fly. Cargo continued to move. Emergency and priority flights were protected, but the overall rhythm softened. These decisions are rarely announced publicly. They do not come with press statements. They do not need explanation afterward. Their success is measured by the absence of incidents. Modern European air traffic management is built on lessons learned over decades. Earlier eras pushed capacity harder, sometimes too hard. Incidents and near misses showed that systems operating close to their limits leave little room for recovery when something unexpected occurs. Over time, safety philosophy shifted toward maintaining comfortable margins rather than maximum throughput. This philosophy is embedded in procedures, training, and culture. Technology supports this approach, but does not replace human judgment. Automated tools model traffic flow and predict overloads. Shared data platforms allow multiple countries to see the same picture of the sky. Satellite navigation improves accuracy. Communication systems reduce misunderstanding. Still, decisions are made by people. Controllers work in quiet rooms, often at night, watching screens that show abstract symbols moving slowly across space. Their job is not to react dramatically, but to notice subtle trends. A sector filling faster than expected, a weather cell drifting slightly off forecast, a delay that might cascade if left unaddressed. When they act early, the system remains calm. Passengers may never know why a flight left 20 minutes late or why its route curved slightly east instead of west. They may assume routine delay, weather, or congestion. That assumption is fine. The system does not require awareness to function. What matters is that aircraft remain separated, that controllers are not overloaded, that handovers remain predictable, that there is time to think. Europe's airspace is shared not only geographically, but institutionally. Coordination across borders requires trust and restraint. One country cannot solve congestion by pushing traffic into a neighbor's airspace without agreement. Decisions are made collectively, often through centralized flow management. Silence in this context is a sign of cooperation. When fewer aircraft cross the sky, it is not an absence of activity, but a presence of margin. Margin allows the system to absorb small disturbances without escalation. It allows human operators to remain ahead of events rather than behind them. As you rest, aircraft continue to move above Europe. Controllers continue to watch. Data continues to flow quietly between centers. Most nights, traffic remains dense and orderly. Some nights, the system chooses calm instead. On those nights, the sky carries fewer lights. The rhythm slows slightly. Nothing dramatic happens. And that is exactly the point. The safest sky is not the busiest one, it is the one with room to breathe. And when Europe's airspace goes quiet, it does so on purpose.